Now, who would like to start with the first question?
Well, I'd be happy to, sir.
Thank you.
First of all, thanks a lot for coming. I appreciate that and seeing you here and listening to our concerns. I've had a small business for quite a number of years. I want to talk about healthcare just a little bit. And we have children and grandchildren and things I'm concerned about. Normally I'm a person who thinks the glass is half full, but I think we're in a heck of a mess with this healthcare. And I certainly don't want to blame President Obama or the Democratic Party for what they've done. I'm disappointed just where we sit. I happen to be on the board of directors of a local hospital here, so I kind of have some familiarity with quite a few things. But personally, our family, the health insurance costs, it's just went up 11% this year, $80 a month, which is approximately $1,000 a year. Last year it was up 25%. It's gone up 40% in the last 3 years. This is for health insurance costs. And it's unaffordable. And it's unaffordable for our children and our grandchildren. It's just, I just can't believe it. And the problem I have with it, when it goes up 11% in 1 year, and when they come to our local hospital, they tell us what they're going to pay for it. We don't tell them, they tell us. Of course, in the state of Iowa here, it's a monopoly. I feel it's a monopoly here with Blue Cross and Blue Shield. It's just not right. We pay 4 times as much for health insurance than we would our home mortgage. And there has to be something done.
Let me tell you 2 or 3 things that ought to be in this bill that aren't in the bill. And remember, I voted against the bill, and those aren't the only reason I voted against the bill, because there's a lot of stuff in it, in my judgment, shouldn't be in it. And then there's some things that are in it that are relatively non-controversial. But there's probably 3 things, and there may be a dozen more, but I only think of 3 things now. But one, selling insurance across state lines would give more competition to monopolies like you're talking about.
Is that in the bill then, or no?
No, it's not in the bill.
Okay.
Medical malpractice reform, and the reason for that is not because just the lawsuits, but the practice of defensive medicine. You go to the doctor, he thinks he sees a lawsuit coming through, so he gives you a lot of tests to protect himself, tests that maybe you don't need. And so medical malpractice reform, putting caps on punitive damages, things like that, would negate a lot of that defensive medicine. Might negate some lawsuits too, but more of the defensive medicine. Selling insurance across, well, no, that's what I said. The other thing would be association health plans. So let's say you're the local restaurant operator here, and you want to give insurance for your employees, but you can't because it's such a small pool. So if you get in a national pool for the National Restaurant Association, it might be something you can afford for your employees. See, maybe even for yourself, but you can't now. There are some things in the bill that if it goes on to become the product that it is right now, and that's kind of going to be dependent on this next election, because this thing doesn't go into effect until 2014. I think it's going to be a real issue in the campaign. But regardless of that, there are some things in it that will cut down on costs that are relatively non-controversial. Maybe not even a Republican or Democrat, just kind of a consensus sort of thing you're supposed to do, like emphasis upon preventive medicine, reimbursing doctors on quality instead of quantity, setting up what we call, lose my thought here.
Co-ops?
No, coordinated health care, but that's not the example. Accountable care organizations. That's where you get groups of various levels of health care practicing as a team, mostly on the 5 diseases that we call chronic diseases that eat up 75% of the health care dollars. Just 5 diseases do that. The concentration are there. And things of that nature that I think are in the bill that would be repeated if it were rewritten, that would cut down on costs. See? But they ain't going to cut down on costs like in the next year. It's going to take a while to phase these things in. You know, so it's no immediate answer. What I'm saying is no immediate answer to the problems you just put out there.